Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Lecturer of Quantitative Research in ELT, Ms. Nita Sarinurlita Dewi, SPD, MPD. In this occasion, I'm Nazwa Zahra from Class B, would like to present my research proposal with the title Relationship between EF Learners, Vocabulary Knowledge and English Competence of 11th Grade Student of SMIN, Wancisayong in Tasikmalaya. By this research proposal consists of 3 chapters. The first is introduction, second is literature review, and last is research methodology. All right. First, introduction. According to Desan et al. 2023, in this part of the background of the study, vocabulary is essential component of learning foreign language because it supports all 4 skills such as listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And however, when UNIC and Afandi 2020 state that many studies show that Indonesian EFL learners still struggle with vocabulary and this affect their English performance. And the curriculum also requires high school students to master around 3,000 English words, and which raises concern about whether limited vocabulary contributes to student lower English competence. So from previous studies have found that vocabulary knowledge strongly predicts student English skills. For example, in Hartini and Ardini 2024 found a positive relationship between vocabulary knowledge and English competence. However, only a few studies in Indonesia have examined this relationship using digital assessment tools, especially in senior high school. Next, for the research objective that to investigate the relationship between vocabulary knowledge and English competence of the 11th grade student of SMIN Wancisayong in Tasikmalaya. And for the research question, is there a significant relationship between EFL learners' vocabulary knowledge and their English competence? Because I will explain the correlation between 2 variables. So they are the operational definition. Yeah. Of those based on the research proposal. First, vocabulary knowledge refers to student ability to understand and use English word correctly. For the English competence, according to Hatini and Adini 2024, English competence is student overall ability in listening, speaking, reading, and writing, measured using their final exam scores. After that, I will, and for the significance of the research, to provide insight into how vocabulary affects English competence and introduces Wayground and interactive assessment tool for the teacher and for the student, encourage awareness of importance of vocabulary and helps them track their progress in fun low stress digital environment. And for the other researchers, offers reference for future studies on vocabulary, English competence, and the use of digital assessment tools. After explaining the subpoints, the research aims to investigate the relationship between vocabulary knowledge and English competence using the wide-grown digital platform among 11th grade student of FMIN Cisayong. The second chapter is literature review. In this chapter, according to Uchihara and Saito 2019, vocabulary knowledge is a core component of language proficiency and includes receptive and productive vocabulary. Students with larger vocabulary can understand text more easily and express their idea more accurately. Next, in English competence refers student ability to use English across the 4 lit skills such as listening, speaking, reading, and writing. In Hartini and Ardini 2024 found that students with higher vocabulary knowledge tend to achieve higher English competence. Next is the previous study, including Siragar and Hani 2023. Their studies show that vocabulary should be assessed based on both breadth and depth. In Hartini and Ardini 2024, also explain about vocabulary knowledge measured using LEX 30 wave test. And and find the positive correlate with English competence. From Rafi Q et al. 2023, said that vocabulary knowledge significantly predicts overall language proficiency. And from Putri 2023, students with stronger vocabulary show better communication skills measured using quizzes or way ground. And for the research gaps, limited studies modern digital access in Indonesian high school, especially in Indonesian high school. And for the last chapters, research methodology, the study uses a quantitative correlational design to examine the relationship between vocabulary knowledge and English competence, according to Krasel 2012. And for the population, um, it will be 140, 11 grad student of SMN Wan Cisayong, including four classes from 11 to 1 to 11 4, and all share similar characteristic as EFL learners familiar with technology. And for this sample, I choose 11 1 class consisting of 35 students selected through purposive sampling. And this class was chosen because their English exam scores are complete and accessible, and the English teacher provided full permission for vocabulary testing, and students have sufficient technology access to complete the Weigrant test. For the data collection in vocabulary knowledge measured through 25 item multiple choice test on white ground and with an automatic score range of 0 to 100. And for the English competence collected from students, final exam scores covering listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And after that, the data will be analyzed. Yeah. For next, the data will be analyzed using descriptive statistics to get mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum scores. A normality test to determine whether the data are normally distributed. And for hypothesis, using SPSS product moment correlation for normally distributed data and experiment rank if the data are not normal. And this analysis determines the trend and direction of the relationship between vocabulary knowledge and English competence. All right. And this is the references I used from this research study. And yeah, the honorable lectures, I presented all the content of the research proposal from chapter 1 to until chapter 3. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your nice attention. I'm ready to answer the question, and I hope I can answer the question from the lecture as well as I can. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.